but you put them up here in the center because we're not going to use them. But they're to show you, if you're ever interested or in other classes interested, in how a bypass would do. Well, remember I said the first major vessel off of the aorta is brachiocephalic. But I didn't say it was the first vessel off. The first vessels, there's two of them that come off of the aorta, are one in each of two of the cusps of the aortic semilunar valve. They're coronary arteries. The coronary arteries are number one first. The heart takes care of itself first. And here's one of those vessels right here. And here's the second vessel right here, and it comes from behind the pulmonary trunk and right next to it. If there's a blockage, say right about here, which is a common spot for there to be a blockage, you can go in and try to open that with a stent or just straight angioplasty. That's the same thing, except you don't put the stent in, you just blow up a balloon inside. If that works, fine. If that doesn't work, or if there's a lot of damage, then they may do bypass. And bypass is simply to take a graft, usually from your own subclavian artery or femoral artery first, because you won't reject it. And then they'll take the vessel and put it in. You know, this is too long, but you get the idea. They can put it in here. The blood can easily flow into the aorta. That's not going to get blocked. But if there's a blockage here, the right coronary artery's got to, that's 1/3 of the heart, and it's got to get blood. So they go like that, and it skips the part where it's blocked. Okay. Of course, there won't be that much of it. They just skip the portion where it's blocked. And if they need to, on the left, they can do it there too. And they can attach at the same spot, or up in here, or even up on off the subclavian, if they need to get over to this one. Heart really can be divided into three parts when you talk about its circulation on its surface. There's the right, and there's a anterior, and then we've got a lateral portion over here as well. The angioplasty or stent, if you're going to have one of those put in, that's usually done by putting a hole in your leg and running a wire up through the aorta backwards. Okay, the aorta, the descending thoracic aorta becomes the abdominal aorta. And they run it up backwards. Sometimes they go off into the other leg. Whoops. And then they start again. It goes on up, and they go over the top, and the wire comes down, and it's all visible on a screen while this is happening. And the person is awake looking at this, if they care to. And they come in there, and they get into one of the cusps of the aortic semilunar valve. If it's the one of the three that has no opening, they back out. Then they go to the next one, and they go in. And then they are in there, and they inject a dye. If the dye disperses everywhere, you don't have a problem there. That's not a problem spot. Maybe go to the next one and disperse the dye. If the dye really accumulates behind the blockage, and it hardly gets through to the other portion, and they look what % blockage you have, and they decide right then and there what they're going to do about it. Interesting procedure. Okay. The handout